Oh man, I'm freezing. I'm cold. I'm freezing and I'm cold. This is Florida, for God's sakes. Where is the hot weather? I don't know. You tell me. Oh my Lord. So I took my trash out, you guys. I'm getting my apartment ready for the great Larry to come. I've been slacking. I've been slacking on laundry. I've been slacking on cleaning. And it's starting to irritate Fears. So I've been cleaning kind of here and there every time I get off of work. So I'll come home. I'll sleep for a little while. I slept a little bit too late today. So before I go into work, I'm going to clean a little bit. And I'm going to clean a lot this weekend. So yeah. But I went out to take my trash out. Whew. It is freezing out there. It is freezing out there. Now, I have some friends that live in Missouri and in Illinois and North Carolina, South Carolina. So I shouldn't be complaining because they said, hey, Fears, they said, how cold is it in Florida? And I was like, oh, man, it's gotten down to like 40, like 39, sometimes in the morning, sometimes at night. During the day, it's usually like 60 or 70. But at night and in the morning in Florida is fucking freezing. And then my friend's like, Fears, he goes, you've been spoiled. And I said, what do you mean? They said, Florida has spoiled you. And that's probably true because my friend was like, Fears, I don't want to hear any complaining. It's goddamn 22 degrees where I live. And I was like, holy shit. I'm like, I shouldn't be complaining. I'm like, that is pretty fucking freezing. I've been there, though. I've been in 22 degrees because I grew up in Missouri. I've been colder than that. Anyway. So welcome, guys. It's Fears. Let me open up the chat. Let's get going here. Lots of stuff to talk about. Some good, some bad. But here we are. So, yeah. Let me open up the chat. Feel free to comment away.
Colder than that.
Feel free to comment away. Let me switch it from top chat to live chat. There we are. Thank you for the like. I appreciate that. We got 3 people watching. Today's topics. Lots of movie reviews. Lots of movie reviews. So, finally, Fears sat down and watched Mad Max. Finally. Sat down and watched Mad Max. Whew. Fucking brilliant. Brilliant. Amazing. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Now I know why Larry and Visions likes this so much. I've been missing out. This thing was fucking spectacular. Cannot wait to review it for you guys. So that's number 1. Number 2, Superman 4. It's got its good moments in it. But is it a good film overall? That's stretching the truth just a little bit. But it does have some good moments in it. I'm not saying the whole thing's bad. A lot of it's bad. They should have stopped at Superman 3. But here we are. But Fears had to get it because you know me and collections. If I don't have the whole collection, it'll irritate me. Anyway, so reviewing these 2. And then finally, I sat down and watched Death Becomes Her. Really funny, really spooky, really kooky, really funny, weird, but fucking hilarious, and I loved it. It's got Bruce Willis in it, Meryl Streep, Goldie Hawn, so I cannot wait to review all 3 of these. Let's see. Unfortunately, let me just get all the bad stuff out of the way first. Unfortunately, me and my mom had an argument, so there's that. And I love my mom, but I told her, I said, we should not be arguing right now. You know, with the death of my dad, death of my grandma. But sometimes my mom just likes to egg things on. And I'm not bad-mouthing my mom. It just is, there's a time and a place to argue, right? And The other night was not the time and the place. It was like 10 o'clock at night. I was cleaning, I was cooking, I was cooking my dinner, and I was doing my laundry all at the same time. So I was like busy, you know? And I knew it would have caused an argument. So I tried to end it peacefully. I said, you know what, Mom? I said, we can talk about this another day. I said, I'm just going to, go. I'm just trying to get some stuff done before work. And she wouldn't let it die. So I was like, well, I'm not going to yell at my mom. So I just said, look, Mom, I said, whatever you're upset about, I said, I'm really sorry. I said, I don't want to talk about this. So I said, I'm going to turn off my phone, and I said, I'll talk to you in a couple weeks. So Randall said I should text her in like 2 or 3 days, but I think that will make her even more mad. And it wasn't even that big of a deal what we were arguing about. Or well, she was arguing. I wasn't. I was just kind of listening. Because I wasn't in the mood to argue. But, anyway. Yo, John, what's up? The first Mad Max is one of the worst, boring movies ever made. All the sequels are great, though. That's not true. I highly disagree with that, John. So disagree. You're entitled to your opinion. I loved it. I loved Mad Max. I loved it. So much action-packed. So much action. Cars driving over 100 miles an hour. Explosions. So you're entitled to your opinion, John, but I loved it. I definitely loved it. Anyway, so let's get back to all the bad news. So there was that. So I'm gonna take Randall's advice. I'm gonna try to text my mom in a couple of days, and hopefully, and then when Valentine's Day comes around, I'm gonna probably get my mom a really nice gift because she's struggling as much as I'm struggling with my grandma's death and my dad and all that. The other night she called and she was just crying, and I was like, I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to say. I'm like, Mom, I love you. And I said, I'm upset too. And she was just crying and crying and crying. And I was like, I miss Grandma too already. I said, I miss Dad. But in my mind, I was like, there's nothing that I can do or say that'll bring my grandma and dad back, I was like, well, what am I going to say to my mom, So I was just trying to comfort her at that point because I was like, well, this is a big deal, And I show my emotions privately. The only time I've ever cried at a funeral was for my dad, and for a couple of my mom's brothers, my uncles, because they were really close to me, and a couple of my American uncles. So I'd say I've cried at a funeral maybe 4 or 5 times. Not that much. Like, I didn't cry at my grandma's funeral. I cried when I got back here, but everyone handles it differently. So there was that. So hopefully my mom won't be mad in like 2 or 3 days. So I'm gonna give her a text and take Randall. Randall's like, don't text her right away. He's like, Fears, wait like 3 or 4 days and then give her a text. And I said, oh, I will. And then it was Randall's suggestion. He goes, well, Valentine's Day is coming up. Like, buy her maybe call like a flower shop like in Wentzville and get her some flowers. And I was like, oh yeah, Randall. I said I always get my mom something for Valentine's Day because I don't have a lady right now. If I had a lady, I would get my mother something for Valentine's Day and my lady. But I don't have a lady right now. So I would always just get something for my grandma and my aunt and then my mom. So my grandma, my aunt, I would send them some chocolates and like a Valentine's Day card. And then my mom, I would get some flowers and some other stuff. John says, first Mad Max has 0 action. That's not true. Then you must be watching the wrong movie, John. There was so many explosions in this. I'm just saying. We're all entitled to our opinion. But for me, there was plenty of action in this. I'm just saying. I loved it. Again, everyone's entitled to their opinion. But I thought there was plenty of action. So anyway. That's what I got to say. But you're entitled to your opinion, John. You know, if you didn't like it, you didn't like it. But I loved it. I thought it was great. So far, it's 2 for 2. And I thought The Road Warrior was the very first movie in the series. It's not. Mad Max is the first one. It's this one. So I watched them out of sequence, but I understand the story. The first one, he starts off as a cop, and then in the second one, the future's gotten even worse, and now he has no family. All the buildings have been destroyed, and like they're kind of decrepit, they're falling apart. And now there's, at least in the first Mad Max, there's somewhat of a structure, somewhat of a society, because there's still police officers and stuff in the first one. In the second one, The Road Warrior, there's no structure at all. It's like everyone for themselves, you know, in the second one. So, even though I watched them out of sequence, I still liked Mad Max 1 and 2. So I've only watched those 2 so far. The next one I gotta watch is Mad Max Thunderdome, or whatever the hell the third one's called. I believe it's that. And then the newest one, the Road Fury. That's the one that they made like in, I don't know, 2019, 2020, something like that. So that's the newest one. Anyway. Alright. Anyway. I'm going to say hello to everybody in the chat, and then I'm going to get back to all the bad stuff, because I would rather tell you guys all the bad stuff, what's going on, put it behind me, and then move on. All right. Let's say hello to everybody. Let's see here. Beer Man says, "What up, boys? Have a drink." I've got it. I've got my drink in my crystal, my Camp Crystal Lake cup that I recently bought around Halloween time. So I'm already drinking. Sadly, no coffee. I ran out of coffee. I need to buy some this weekend. Either tomorrow or this weekend whenever I go grocery shopping. So, yeah. Yo, what's up, Visions? Good to see you. Good to see you, Visions. Always a pleasure, my friend. John said, "I watched on VHS, and it was the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life." Again, John, you are entitled to your opinion. I just watched Mad Max last night before I went to work, and I do not think it's the worst movie ever. I really enjoyed it. And plus, it's fucking Mel Gibson. I mean, you can't go wrong with some fucking Mel Gibson, you know what I'm saying? But again, you're entitled to your opinion, John. I loved it. I know a lot of people in the community love it. I know Visions loves this series. Visions? Oh my god. Fucking epic! Oh my god, it was so good. So now I've watched the first 2. Mad Max. I watched them out of sequence by accident, because I swear to God, you guys, I thought The Road Warrior, because in the title it doesn't say Mad Max, it just says The Road Warrior. I thought that was the first one. Then a bunch of my friends online, offline were like, "Fears, we don't know what the hell you're on about. Mad Max is the first one." And I was like, "Yeah, The Road Warrior, Mad Max." And they're like, "No, Fears, that's the second one." They're like, "Get Mad Max, that's the very first one." And I was like, I didn't know that. I always thought The Road Warrior was the first one. So I did a little detective work. Googled it online. I was like, oh, shit. I'm like, they're right. I'm like, my mistake. So John, you were entitled to your opinion, but Fears loved it. So I'm going to be reviewing this tonight. This was funny. So Tyler told me, he goes, "Fears, it's spooky, it's kooky, it's funny, it's weird, it's got horror aspects to it. It's got a little sci-fi in it, like a little bit of the afterlife." He was right on all accounts. It was weird, it was spooky, but fucking hilarious. And I'm so glad I bought it. I'm so glad it's part of the collection. So, can't wait to review that. And then, must we review this? Well, I guess. Horrible. Garbage. Crap. Garbage. They should have just stuck with, really, if I'm being honest, they should have just stuck with Superman 1, Superman 2. Superman Returns is even better than this one. And then The Man of Steel. That's great. And then Batman versus Superman. All those are fucking fantastic. This one, it's got some good moments, but is it a good movie as a whole? No. But Fear, you know me and my OCD. If I've got 1, 2, and 3, then I have to have 4 to complete the collection. At least I have completed the collection now, but really, this was a waste of money. It was a waste. I sat there, I grudged through it, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm like, this movie's giving me a headache. All right. So there it is. All right, let's continue on. Let's see here. We love all to drink us, boys. I mean, listen, I love beer. I like beer. Carmine says, all right now, Fears, how's your day going? Today's going all right, Carmine, but I got a couple of things that I want to tell the fans. But good to see you. What up, John? What up, Visions? Beer Man says, better be good in here, boys. Drink us in the Clue in the bar, boys. Vision says, Beyond Thunderdome is kind of silly, but still a classic. Oh, really? Okay, so I have that to look forward to, Visions, because I've watched 1, I've watched 2, but I've never seen 3. Never seen it. Well, no, I'm sorry. You guys made me, it was either Larry or one of you guys made me watch the trailer. So I've watched the trailer, but I cannot wait to find that. Can't wait to get it. So there it is. But on my going to visit my family and going to my grandma's funeral, after all my responsibilities were done, I went to my 2 favorite stores. So I found Beyond. I'm sorry, I did not find Beyond Thunder. I found the Fury Road or Road Fury. That's the 4th one. So I'll probably watch that one first, which is the very last one, before I watch Thunderdome. So it sucks that I've had to watch these out of sequence, because I like watching movies in sequence, but, you know, I'd rather just watch that one now because I already have it. So yeah. And I haven't even selected a movie tonight that I'm going to watch, but at the end of this stream, I definitely will go over to The Wall, because The Wall is getting quite big. All of these I've watched. All of these. And then most of these I've watched. Some I haven't, but most of these I've watched. But that entire Wall. Bought, never watched. I got some watching to do. I've got some watching to do, my friends. But I don't mind a little silly in action, so I'm definitely looking forward to Thunderdome. I've seen the trailer. It looks pretty good. And it's a classic. All right, here, let me scroll down here. This stream is lit. Well, I appreciate that. Riding sideways, this way, that way. Oh, I'm wrong. Mad Max 2 is Road Warrior. Yeah. It's Road... Well, I thought Road Warrior, I'll be honest, I thought Road Warrior was the first one. And... because it never says Mad Max in the title. It's just The Road Warrior. So I thought, oh, okay, then it's probably the first one. It's not the first one. It's the second one. But it doesn't matter that it's the second one, because it's still fucking great. The sequel is fucking great. Everyone's entitled to... Apparently, John doesn't like it. That's okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I fucking loved it. Action-packed, you know? And then the death scene at the end, where Mad Max, like, kills the villain off, you know? In a major way. I'll get to it in just a minute. I was like, oh shit, here we go. I'm like, oh, this is getting interesting. So I'm watching, and I'm like, how the fuck did this movie fly by Fears all these years? I was missing out. But thank God for the fans. They've told me about a bunch of gems. Like, and you know what? Australians can make good movies. Like, if it wouldn't have been for Visions, I probably would have never have seen Dead End Drive-In. That's a great fucking movie, Visions. If it wouldn't have been for Visions and Larry and a bunch of other people, wouldn't... I had heard of Mad Max, but I had never seen it. Probably I never would have seen it. But thank God I did, because man, oh man, was I missing out. I was missing out, you know? All right, let me continue on. Beer Man says, Tesla. Do I watch movies? I don't always watch movies at night. I watch a lot of them on the weekends, and it depends on how tired I am, Garth. Like, if I'm not tired at all when I get off of work, I'll just stay up. Get some errands done, you know, make some breakfast, make some lunch, watch a movie here and there, do some editing, and then at night before I go into work, that's when I'll take a nap and go into work. Like, this morning I was exhausted. Like, we went into work last night, and I don't know who thought it was going to be an easy night. Normally at around 33,000, that is an easy night. But because it's only easy if we get like little boxes that don't weigh that much. If we get little boxes, then it's easy as hell. But all last night was huge, thick, heavy fucking boxes of God knows what. So it takes us longer to lift those into the truck, lift them off, put them on the floor, and then the line, the conveyor belt gets backed up because, you know, if it's a light box, we just go, oh yeah, boom, throw it over there, boom, throw it over there, boom, throw it over there. But if it's a heavy fucking box that weighs over 150 pounds or 200 pounds, then it takes me a second to lift it off. Or sometimes I have to help somebody. Like last night, there was this young kid. I think it was his first job. He was like 19, 20. And he's like, hey, Fears, you mind help me out? And I was like, you can't lift it? I mean, I didn't mean it in a bad way. I was like, you need some help? And he was like, yeah. He goes, this is well over 200 pounds. He goes, I can't lift it. Made sense because he was short, super skinny, and I was like, yeah, I don't mind helping. So I said, grab that side. I said, what's the number on it? And he said, L42. I said, all right. I said, we got to lift this, put it in L42 in that section of the truck. So I said, you can either push it into place, I said, or we'll just lift it. So I helped him lift it, and I said, it's really heavy, so we'll set it down, and we'll put it on the floor, and we'll just scoot it into position, which we did. But that always takes a lot longer. If it would have been a light box, we would have already been to the next one, and the third one, and the fourth one, and the fifth one. But it took us like 2 minutes on that box, so everybody was getting frustrated last night because the belt kept stopping. Because whenever it jams up, it just stops automatically because there's a trigger on it. And it'll realize, like, oh, no one's lifting any boxes at the end of the row. We should probably stop. Or you can manually stop it. So sometimes people were manually stopping it. So that was all that. But hopefully that answers your question. What's the last DVD I bought? What, not Blu-ray? The last DVD I bought. Because some movies you can't find on Blu-ray. I believe, let me find it. I believe it was this one. Because I've tried to find this on Blu-ray and I cannot find it on Blu-ray. Let me grab it real quick. I believe this was the last one. Hang on. Oh, where is it? This one. Bam! Right there. I got it at Goodwill. I have tried to find this on Blu-ray. If anybody out there does find it on Blu-ray, you guys let me know. But it's a really good comedy with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd. Spies Like Us. I have not been able to find this on Blu-ray, and this is the last DVD that I bought. This was like a couple of weeks before Christmas. I was at Goodwill. I bought some Blu-rays that day, but I was like, I don't have that one. So I bought this, and I was like, well, this will tide me over. I looked everywhere for a Blu-ray. There's no Blu-ray of this movie. None that I could find. So yeah. Let's see. Vision says, we're watching Man Bites Dog, but pause it to watch the stream. Well, hey, Visions, I appreciate that you and your lady paused the stream to watch it. Always a good friend, always a good fan. I can always depend on you and other people. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to John and Beer and Garth and Visions. And I don't know where Larry is tonight. I'm sure he'll be on the way. Carmine, everybody else. I appreciate that. Next song for Eddie. And you know what? I've never heard of Man Bites Dog. So let me just go ahead and watch that trailer real quick. Give you my analysis on it. Man Bites Dog. Is this another gem that Fears has to watch? I don't know. We'll find out. Let me just go to YouTube and I'll write in the trailer. Let me just have a little look-see here. The title sounds hilarious. All right, here we go. Man Bites Dog trailer. Is it another one of those 80s gems? One of those 90s gems? I hope so. I hope so. Oh, shit. This is in black and white. Damn. What, is it old? Is it old? Like 50s, 60s? Well, I can't. Oh, no. I think they just made it in black and white because it says Man Bites Dog trailer 1993. You don't see many 93 movies in black and white, so this is going to be interesting. All right. Let's have a little look-see. Let's have a little look-see here. So it was made in 93. Okay. All right. And I guess they've made a remake because there's a remake of it where it's in color. So I presume, I don't know if Visions is watching the colored one or the well, Visions likes classic movies just like I do. So I would presume it's the old one. So let's watch this trailer, shall we?
That is me, Remy. I'm a filmmaker, and I'm making a film about Ben, a man of many talents. He was a connoisseur.
This guy's voice is like the ultimate narration. Hi, I'm making a documentary about my good friend Ben. Like, the delivery of it's great. I'm not making fun of this guy, just his voice is hilarious. It's pretty good.
Of fine foods. A first-rate poet. A philosopher. And a composer. But what?
This guy, now I gotta give him credit. This guy's got a lot of, stuff under his hat. A poet, a scholar, so he's on the right track,
What fascinated me most about Ben was the intensity he brought to his work. Ben was a killer.
And he's a killer. Okay. So on one side, he's a poet, a romantic, and then he's like, on Saturday afternoons, I just like to fucking kill people. Well, there it is. Well, that was out of nowhere. I didn't expect that. Passion and drive and the intensity, and he's a killer. Well, there it is. I didn't expect that. All right. Well, there it is. There it is.
Clever and creative killer.
This guy's
almost
going
to
nuts.
The point of genius. He could hit a moving target, sight unseen, and strike at a moment's notice. He was a consummate professional. He was quite a guy. So, when he asked us...
This guy's going nuts. He, lifts his shirt up, and he's got, 2 guns, stuck down his pants. This is fucking hilarious.
To join in the fun, we felt honored. I mean, he was the star of our movie, and who were we to say no?
And they just threw a body into a lake or a river, and then the documentarian guy's like, yeah, we'll just join in. All right. Well, there you go.
Afterwards, we all celebrated into the night, and what a party it was. For a short while, at least. Until things got way out of hand.
So wait. It hasn't got out of hand yet? You just helped commit a murder and then throw a body in a lake, and it hasn't got out of hand yet? There's more to come? Okay. You would think by that point it would have got out of hand, but I guess not.
Man Bites Dog. It's a comedy about a serial killer that goes straight for the jugular. But whoever...
Well, my analysis on this, Visions, is I'm going to give it a big thumbs up. And I'm not just saying that because we're friends, because I'm saying it for these three reasons. 1, I love horror movies. 2, I love comedy. And I like how they mixed it with the comedy and the horror, but then they make it look like a documentary, even though it's like a fake documentary and they made a movie about it, So it's those are the 3 things that I like about it. And it got, really good reviews, because at the end of this trailer it says, brutally funny, the Toronto Star said that, and then morbidly funny, Newsday, and then super funny, Newsweek. So it's gotten good reviews by, those are 3 big papers in the world, So that definitely is worth a look-see.
I thought it would be banned in countries like Sweden and Australia. After all, we were awarded the International Critics Prize at Cannes.
There you go.
I mean, even in Montreal, they thought it was a smash. And when we got to LA, they told us it was provocative and powerful. Maybe even the best film released this year.
Well, I don't know about this year. They made it in 93, but probably the year of 93. Well, that was hilarious. All right, well, there it is. That was funny. It was, I'm telling you, though, what sold me on it, well, one thing that sold me on it was the narrators. He's so calm, you know, and chill. So calm, so chill. And he's like, oh, yeah, by the way, the star of our show is a serial killer. I'm like, oh, wow, that was out of left field. All right. There we are. Well, I appreciate you pausing that movie. I'm watching The Fears Man. Why is the Blu-ray red box? I don't know. That's what it came in. It is Blu-ray, though. See? But you know what? I've seen this before because whenever I bought the first Terminator, wherever I went and bought, I think I bought that one either at Sam's Club, because I have a Sam's Club card, or Walmart. It was on the shelf, and it was in a red one like this. So I don't know. Maybe it's like whenever they do like a special movie, because it had a bunch of bonus features, and then the Terminator 1 had a bunch of bonus features, like literally like down the page. So I don't know. I'm just guessing. I really have no idea. And I'm being honest. I'm not lying. I have no idea why they put some movies in red ones instead of like, you know, the traditional, you know, blue, you know, Blu-ray, blue. It would make sense, right? It's not red ray. It's not red ray. It's Blu-ray. But I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. By the way, John, I can't believe, this is just my opinion, I can't believe that you would think that Mad Max is not a classic and that it was boring. Look at this right here. A riveting classic. Hence the word classic. I'm just saying. Again, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Anyway. Let's see here. Let's see. Like 25 shipped in the States, Walter. Oh, is that one of your recent orders, Visions? Damn, that's a big order. 25 shipment. Damn, that's nuts. That's crazy. But hey, it's good business, buddy. Let's see. You should add to your list. I don't even know what that is. Here, hang on, John. Let me look that one up. I wouldn't even be able to pronounce that word, you know. And you guys know if I do mispronounce the word, you know the trolls are going to call me on it, so I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce it. I'm just going to write it in and find the trailer and watch it. So, all right, let's see if I can find this. Sometimes it's hard to find, you know, the trailers online. Let's see if I can find this. Let's see, made in 1987. I presume this is it. I'm not 100% sure, but I would, let's see here. Let's see, a man brings home a decomposing corpse for his girlfriend. Okay. That's what it says in the description before I watch this. So, I got a bunch of questions. One, why in the hell would you bring home a rotting corpse? Second of all, why the hell would you give a rotting corpse to your fucking girlfriend? Honey, I love you. I want to get you a gift. Here's a rotting corpse. Have at it. What the fuck? That's just hilarious. All right, let's watch this. Oh, man. Wait a minute, I think I've seen this. I mean, I haven't seen the movie. This trailer looks familiar. I think Larry or Visions told me to watch this one time. I think I've already seen this. Yeah, I've seen this one. Hang on, let me play a little bit more just to confirm it. Oh yeah, the girl in the bathtub. Yep. I've seen this. She's in a bathtub full of blood. I guess I just forgot about this. Yep, I've seen this. Well, I've seen the trailer. Yep, The rotting corpse is in the bathtub with her. Yep, I've seen this. But I haven't seen the movie. I've only seen the trailer. I was like, this looks familiar. I was like, this looks familiar, this one. Anyway. Because for a minute, I was like, wait a minute. That sounds familiar. Yo, Tinder Immortal, what's up? Good to see you. Oh, another one I have to watch? Watch the movie Teeth. All right, I'll look that one up real quick, and then we'll get on with the stream. Teeth trailer. Let's watch this one. I guess it was made in 2008 because as soon as I hit the enter button, that's what popped up. So I presume that this is it. I just wrote in Teeth official trailer made in 2008. So let's have a look-see. But yeah, the one with the dead corpse, though, as soon as I saw the woman bathing herself in the blood in the tub, and then like the fucking corpse is over here going like that in the fucking bathtub, I was like, I think I've seen this. All right, here we go.
All right. What can I do for you, miss? Is this your first time? Okay. So I imagine you have no idea what to expect.
Not really.
Don't worry. I'm not going to bite you. Just lie down.
Well, it's called Teeth, so I can only imagine like some creepy fucking dentist. Like, yeah, bitch, I'm going to rip out all your fucking teeth. I could be totally wrong, though, you know. I'm getting that vibe. You know, he looks like the all-American, respectable doctor with his shirt and his tie, and he's got the comb over, like flowing in the wind. I was like, there's something off about this guy, but I don't know. We'll see.
Put your feet right in here. Okay. Are you sexually active?
No, I just...
Wow. All right. Out of nowhere. Well, go ahead and sit down, you know. So first question, are you sexually active? Okay, well, there it is. Man, these guys are getting straight to the point.
want to be checked out.
Okay, then.
Well, okay, then. Yeah, there's something off about this guy. Something bad's gonna happen. Why? Because something always happens bad to these fucking idiots in these horror movies. If I was a woman, the minute this guy said, well, are you sexually active, and then put on rubber gloves, I'd be like, it's time to leave. It's time to go. It's time to get the hell out of here.
There's something weird going on inside.
Yeah, there is something weird going on, bitch. It's time to leave.
What do you put in here?
Oh, my Lord. I knew it. I knew it. I knew something bad was going to happen.
There is something inside of me that's lethal. Dentata.
What?
It's Latin for teeth. It's what's inside me.
I will admit, Tinder Immortal, I'm intrigued. This movie is, it's interesting. I thought it was about a creepy dentist, but then, like, took a massive side twist. So, this looks pretty good.
Are you afraid?
Oh! That's not good. That's not good at all.
This is too weird.
Just wait.
Yeah, she's like, just wait, it gets weird. I mean, it already is pretty weird. Every rose has a thorn coming soon. Oh, shit. Well, there it is. That ending was... Whew. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Well, thanks for the... thanks for that, Tinder Immortal. That looked really good. That looked really good. All right. Walter wants you to watch Human Centipede 2 and... Well, if I had to watch 2, I would probably have to watch number 1. And I know what Human Centipede is about. they're eating people's asses, and then they're like stitching their face to the ass. Walter, that's a big thumbs down. That doesn't sound even remotely interesting. Because I remember I watched the trailer for number 1, and I was like, oh shit, this looks nuts. This looks nuts. Carmine says, bet this movie has a lot of boner? Boner? I don't know what the hell you're on about. Oh, obviously I know what a boner is, but like, I didn't see any boners in that fucking trailer. So Carmine, you are hilarious. Anyway, let's continue on. Lots of good options, in the movie department, my friends. Yeah, but as soon as John sent me that one, I was like, I've seen this before. I'm like, one of my buddies, the minute I saw that woman, she's like just bathing herself in fucking blood in the bathtub. I was like, this kind of rings a bell. Then the fucking like corpse is like either sitting off to the side or sitting in the tub with her, and he's all like that, all like fucked up. I was like, yeah, I've seen this. Let's see. You're going to have to get used to that if you want to make it in the dating scene. That's true. That's very true. Oh, what? Eating butt visions? I don't know if I could. I don't know if Fears could ever do that. That just doesn't seem appealing to me. There's a lot of stuff you can do with women, but that's not one that I would like to dive into. Literally dive into. But, yeah, I'm good, buddy. I'm really good. Anyway, let's continue on. So let me get all the bad stuff out of the way, because that's what I was trying to do, because I'd rather end it on a good note. Lots of stuff to tell you guys. Just close your eyes. Yeah. No, I'm good. So there's a lot of... Fears has been going through a lot of stuff. I left the Discord for a little while. The amount of hate... So that's number 1. The amount of hate in there was just overwhelming. It was... And I don't know why, because all my loyal fans, like, here, you guys actually give a damn about me. You guys like my content. You guys know I'm a good guy. You guys know I care about my friends and my family. You guys know I care about the fans. I don't know what it is that appeals to them. I mean, they're sick and twisted in that fucking Discord. Not everybody, but the people that I've talked about, Literally, I've talked about. I'm not going to bring up any names, because that'll just piss them off more. But, I mean, who makes fun of somebody's grandma dying? That's just sick. That's super sick. And I never got an apology from that, because they don't care. They made fun of my dad when he was alive and suffering, and they made fun of him when he was dead. That's just fucked up to me. I'm sure a lot of you guys would agree, That's pretty fucked up. That's crossing a line. But see, they've crossed many lines. They just do not care. So it became overwhelming, So I haven't been in there in 2 days. So I just wrote like a little short and sweet. I was like, hey guys, I said, LC, no disrespect. I said, really the only reason why I'm in this Discord is to show my buddy LC some support. And I said, I'm going to take a break from the Discord, and I'll let you guys know if I'm going to come back or not. And I haven't decided. So it's just like every single day they give me shit over something. Oh, Fears, you're fat. Oh, you're this, you're that. Fears, you'll never get a girlfriend. It's just constant shit. And I will admit, 4 years is a long time not to have a girl. It's not for a lack of trying, though. I'm not a weirdo. Just it's hard to meet like your soulmate, because I'm kind of an old-fashioned guy. I don't want to just fuck a bunch of chicks, I want to find a girl and have a family and have some kids and a house and the white picket fence and the whole 9 yards. Because I was raised that way, Like my dad never cheated around, So anyway, it just became too much in that Discord. And I feel bad because LC, all he wants to talk about is LC likes to take pictures with his family and post his pictures, as he should. He's a dad, and I think that's cool. Yeah, he's doing fun things with his family, so post it in your Discord. So he posts that, and then he posts all of his nerd collection. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm a big nerd. All around my apartment, I've got nerd shit. Throw it up. Post the nerd shit, And then the third thing is all the toys and shit that he collects. That's part of the nerd stuff, because he collects other nerd stuff besides toys. But then it just seems like I don't want to. I almost said someone's name because World War 18 will ensue if I say anyone's name. It just seems like certain people in there want to come in, take over the fucking Discord, and then. I got accused of something the other night. This was great. Ready for this? They always do this. They always do this little flip-flop shit, which I cannot fucking stand. So after I wrote, hey guys, I'm going to take a break. I'll let you know if I'm coming back or, da-da-da-da-da. Literally within 5 or 6 minutes, right as I was leaving, Mr. Q, that's all I'm going to say. You guys know who Q is. Mr. Q said, hey, you know what? Because of Fears' abuse to me and his negativity, I'm going to take a little break for a while, and I find it really disturbing that Fears would copy me and say he's going to leave. No, shithead. I said it first. But see, that's what they do. They always blame everything on me, When I said it first, I said, hey, I'm going to take a break. Literally within 5 minutes. Oh, I'm going to take a break. Quinn, well, never mind. I've said his name. I hate that piece of shit, and I hate Mr. J. That's all I'm going to say. If they died tomorrow, I would be the happiest fucking person on the goddamn planet. They are a fungus. They're a disease. I suggest you don't talk to them because they're just fucking horrible people. And those two have made fun of my family for years. And with no remorse, nothing. They don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't have any respect for me. They don't have any respect for themselves. They don't have any respect for, my family. So it became a lot. Yo, Kathy, when is the next Disney trip? I'll be going back soon and wondering if I will see you there. I love the last vlog. Well, thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. I don't know when the next one is. Probably not for a while because I've got so much shit to edit. Probably in about maybe 2 or 3 weeks I'll probably go back again. But I need some time to edit. I've got 5 projects going on right now. And that's including Christmas, the Titanic stuff, the last Disney vlog, but I'll get it up as much as I can, Kathy. Since you're a new person, I've been going through a lot of shit lately, which I'm telling everybody, trying to get through it all, but it's been one fucking disaster after another, so I'm getting into it. So there's all that stress in the fucking Discord that I don't need, and then I've had 2 deaths back-to-back in my family, and I don't really know how to handle it. And the reason why I wouldn't say I'm fat. I'd say I'm chubby. And I've lost some weight. But the reason why I was chubby is I didn't know how to, and I'm not using this as an excuse, it's the fucking truth. I didn't know how to handle my dad's death. I still don't. And so I pretty much just ate my feelings. And I'm not lying. No bullshit. And then just when things were starting to get semi-back normal, then my grandma fucking dies. So, and I was very close to my dad and my grandmother. I still am, I still talk about my grandma and my dad all the time. So, it's been hard, really hard, And then to put those feelings aside whenever I go to work, sometimes my feelings come out at work and I don't mean to. I mean, I'm not crying at work or anything, but the other night, not last night, but the night before, I got back and I'm working, and there's this stupid manager just giving me shit, and I'm like, fuck you, leave me the fuck alone so I can do my work. Now, of course, I didn't say that to his face, but in my mind, I said it. I'm like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just working over here, I want to be left alone. I'm trying to work through all this shit, and this guy's tell me that I'm doing something wrong when I wasn't fucking doing something wrong. I know for a fact I wasn't doing something wrong, because I've been there for a year and a half, and I'm like, you think it's wrong. I'm doing it fine. I'm like, as long as the fucking job gets done, it gets done. So it was a big pain in the ass. So he comes over, he's like, what are you doing, Fears? And I'm looking at him like, well, what the fuck do you think I'm doing? I'm doing my work. And so I looked at him and said, just loading the boxes into the truck. And he's like, yeah, well, you stopped the belt. I'm like, so what? I'm like, I got a little bit behind. I stopped the belt for 2 minutes. And then I restarted the belt. I said it was getting backed up, and I said I didn't want the boxes to, fall off the belt or keep getting behind. And he was like, well, you're messing. He goes, because you're stopping the belt, you're messing those people up. No, I'm not. I literally, he must have been watching from afar. I didn't mess anyone up. Whenever I stop the belt, I always give the people on the line a heads up. And it's not just me that stops the belt. Other people stop the belt too. last night, a girl that was brand new and she was just on the belt, I knew the belt was going to be stopped at least 3 or 4 times, because whenever you're new, it always takes a couple of days or a couple of weeks to get the momentum and the speed of the belt. So she must have stopped the belt like 3 or 4 times last night. I stopped the belt, 2 nights ago? Just for a minute or two. And I look at the guy and I said, look, man, I said, I'm just doing my job. And this is what I really said. I said, you can't give me 2 minutes? And he's like, Fears, you can't stop the belt. And I looked at him and I was like, that's not true. And he goes, what do you mean it's not true? I said, other people have stopped the belt. And he's like, yeah. So I said, so why are you giving me crap about it? And he's like, because Fears, you've been here for a year. I know you can go faster. I said, I'm going as fast as I can. I said, you can't give me 2 minutes? 2 minutes? And I said, and so this is when Fears had to get his big boy voice on, because sometimes, they think they can say and do whatever the hell they want. So I went, so he's giving me shit, and I finally say, okay, here's the deal. I said, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I can stop the belt if I want to. I said, I read the manual. I read the rules. There's nothing that says I can't stop the belt. I'm going to have 2 minutes. So I'm going to go back to work now, and if you keep this up, I'm going to go to friggin' corporate. Capiche? And so he just stared at me for a good, 3 or 4 seconds. He knew that I meant business. I was like, look, I get shit done. Don't fuck with me. I'm like, today's not the fucking day. So I said something to that aspect because it was like 2 or 3 days ago. And then he looked at me and then he went, all right, fair enough, Fears. I'm sorry for giving you shit. And he goes, it's been a rough day. And I said, I understand it's been a rough day, but I said, don't take out your rough day on me. And I said, I don't know if anyone told you. I said, I'm going through some shit right now. And he's like, well, I heard that your grandmother died. I said, that's a lot. But I said, I'm still suffering from my dad's death. I said, it was a year and a half ago. Now my grandma. So I said, I would appreciate it if you just let me do my work. Don't give me any more shit. I said, all right. I said, other people have stopped the belt. That really irked me. I was like, other people have stopped the belt to catch up. They don't say anything to them. But the minute I stop it, they say something to me. I was like, that's bullshit. I'm like, I can stop the belt if I fucking want to. Why? Because a bunch of other people have. So that irked me. I was like, leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone. So I had to go to my manager and say, look, explain to that guy that I'm beyond stressed out. You guys can probably tell that I'm beyond stressed out. I don't really know how to handle all this. I'm trying to handle it the best way I can, but it's like really hard. It really is. So there's that, and then me and my brother had a heart-to-heart, and he was like, man, he goes, like, I don't know what the fuck to do. And me and him were talking, like, when I was in town, and I was like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, grandma, dad, and I was like, I know. I said, I don't know how to fucking handle it either. I'm like, this is fucking nuts. And he was like, and he was like, man, he goes, like, what if mom dies? I said, listen, I said, I don't want mom to die. So I said, let's not talk about it, He's like, yeah, but what if? I said, there's always a what if. And I said, I don't want mom to die. I said, I love mom just as much as I love grandma and dad. But I said, we just have to take one day at a time. So I was trying to so there was all that shit. There's a lot, guys. So just bear with me on the content. It's one fucking thing after another. And these idiot trolls, they never make it easy, But I appreciate all my loving and loyal fans. I really do. I can't tell you how much I love you guys and appreciate you guys. And I haven't even checked the P.O. box in a fucking, 2 weeks. So I need to check that this weekend. I really do. So, because there could be nothing, or there could be a lot of shit from you guys. Because Larry said he was going to send something before he came or something. And speaking of Larry, speak of the devil, here he is. I'm just joking, Larry. You're not the devil. What's up, buddy? Just went on break. Well, there you are. Well, good, Larry. And I saw what you said in the Discord before I left. For a while, you said, I cannot wait to hang out with Fears. Listen, buddy, I cannot wait to hang out with you. So Larry, check this out. The other day, my friend from Sean, he watches, but he doesn't want to be on camera or stream. He was like, hey, Fears, he goes, I got a question for you. This was out of the fucking blue. I don't know where he was going with this. We're just stacking. This wasn't last night. This was like a couple of days ago. And he was like, Fierce, he goes, so I've been watching you for a while, ever since like we started working together. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, like, what's the weirdest like fan encounter you have ever had? And I was like, I said, usually all the fan encounters that I've had, I said, there hasn't been too many in real life. I said, there's been a lot of fan encounters online, you know, like when I'm doing my streams or that. And he actually had 2 questions, so I'll get to the other one in a minute. I said, really? I said, all the ones that I've met in real life, like I said, I've met Chicken Wizard in real life, and I said, he wasn't weird at all. Super nice guy. We were hanging out at my friend Chris's Toy Man Toy Show. He tapped me on the shoulder while me and my buddy Eric, you know, I've told you guys about Eric. He's one of my best friends. I was vlogging this way because Eric's really shy. He doesn't like to be on camera. So Eric was like, oh, Fierce. He goes, I don't want to be in your vlog. He goes, but you got to vlog that. And I knew what he was talking about. This guy had a massive fucking display of Ghostbuster shit. I mean, it was fucking falling off the table. And I was like, oh, shit, I do need to get that in the vlog. He's like, well, Fierce, you're the Ghostbuster master. I was like, true. Very true. So I started filming. All of a sudden, Chicken Wizard tapped me on the shoulder. And he's like, hey, Fierce, what's going on? I didn't know who he was, so I was like, oh, hey, man, what's going on? And in my mind, I'm like, I hope this guy says his name because I have no idea who this guy is. So he went, hey, Fierce. He goes, I've been watching you for a while. He goes, you've seen me in your chat. I was like, oh, cool, thanks, man. I'm like, thanks for watching. I really appreciate that. He goes, it's me, Chicken Wizard. I went, oh, shit, hey, Chicken Wizard, what's going on? So that one was very pleasant. The other kid, Matthew, he's kind of the tall. You guys have kind of seen him in the Toy Man videos. He lives in Missouri. That was another fan interaction that happened at Toy Man. So pretty much the 2 main ones, Matthew and Chicken Wizard, happened at the same place. Happened at the Toy Man Toy Show. He tapped me on the shoulder and was like, hey, Fierce, I comment every once in a blue moon. I'm the guy in the chat that it just says M, the little profile picture, and it says Matthew. I went, oh, hey, Matthew. I'm like, hey, thanks for watching. He goes, I'll be honest, Fierce, I love your fucking streams. He's like, I like your video content. He goes, you are the fucking stream master. And I was like, well, I appreciate that, buddy. I'm like, sometimes I don't know what to talk about. And I said, normally when I end it abruptly, I can't think of anything else to talk about. So I said, I do my best. So those 2 have been pleasant. But I told Sean, I said, Sean, maybe the next weird one will come. I said, because I'm inviting Larry. Oh, well, Larry was already coming. But I said I invited Larry to stay with me as a fan because I said, oh, well, hotels cost a fucking arm and a leg down here. So I said, Sean, maybe the next one will be Larry. Jokingly, Larry. I trust Larry. Larry seems like a pretty good guy. But it's a historic moment for the channel because I've never had a fan in my home. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure it'll go good, though. I'm sure it'll go good. But I am looking forward to it. Or, I've never went to visit a fan. I've always wanted to go and visit a fan and hang out with fans that are like friends and fans. Because you guys have told me, one day I hope to meet Visions. Visions is a good buddy of mine. Visions, I'm not making the whole show about you, I promise. But one day I would love to hang out with Visions. Visions seems like a pretty cool guy. One day. I don't know when, just one day. So, Sean, whenever you watch this back, because I know Sean's going to ask me about this either today or tomorrow. Sean, when I go to work, hopefully that answers your question, buddy. I've never had a really bad fan encounter. And then he asked, well, Fierce, what's the worst troll encounter? And I was like, oh, that's easy. I said it happened recently. I said when those 2 fucking idiots made fun of my dead dad and made fun of my dead grandmother. And he went, yeah, he goes, I saw that, man. And he goes, and you talked about it on stream. So technically he didn't see it. I said, well, I looked at Sean. I was like, Sean, you couldn't see it because it was in the Discord. But I said, I talked about it. He goes, yeah, Fierce. He goes, I watched the stream. I heard you talk about it. He goes, and that's really fucked up. He goes, why would they even do that? I'm like, your guess is as good as mine. I'm like, I don't know. I said, probably to hurt my feelings. I said, because there's some fans that like love my videos, actually give a damn about me, my life, which I really appreciate. You know, that's being an epic, loving, and loyal fan, which I can't thank you guys enough. I said, then there's some people that literally want to destroy my life. And they'll laugh about it and they troll about it. I said, you got to be one sicko to make fun of someone's dead grandmother and their dead dad. And he went, yeah, Fears, because I never thought, Sean said this, not me. He goes, I never thought someone would take it that far. I said, they're psychos. They are psycho. They're sick, sadistic psychos. I said, even though I hate Quentin and Joey, I would never do that to someone. And I'll never let them forget about it because that's so fucked up, you know. Anyway, so it's been a lot, Kathy. You being new to the channel, which I appreciate. Kathy, how did you find out about my channel, if you don't mind? Have I met you in real life? Did you hear it through a friend? Just curious. But yeah, it's a lot. So, and I really don't know how to handle all this stress, you know? I've been, like, I took Randall's advice. I've been trying to meditate. So before I go into work, I put on some soothing music and I try to meditate. And that's helped a little bit, but I'll be honest, there's a lot. And I'm sure you guys have had loved ones that have passed away. It's a hard thing to deal with, you know? Especially if it's one after the other. A year and a half ago, my dad. Then, oh, bam, hey, fuck you, Fears, another family member. I'm like, God damn, this sucks, you know? And I don't mean to take the Lord's name in vain, but I'm just like, man, this sucks. Because I miss them a lot. I just wish those idiots in the Discord would just give me a break. Like, just leave me alone. Like, if you don't like me, great. Don't watch my content. But don't just badmouth me and my family in the fucking Discord. It's just so, sometimes I hate being a YouTuber. Like, I was telling my brother, he was like, is it even worth it anymore? I'm like, some days, no. I'm like, some days it's fun. Like, just hanging out, bullshitting with the fans and talking like we're just bullshitting now. And then I was like, but other days, I'm like, it sucks. Getting made fun of every day. Oh, Fears, you suck. Your fucking content's the worst. Oh, Fears, fuck you. Kill yourself, Fears. You're like, hey, Fears, I'm so glad your grandmother's dead. And my brother's like, yeah, he goes, I saw that. I said, yeah, see, I said, they're sick. And my brother's like, well, they're beyond sick. And I was like, yeah, pretty much. But then I told my brother, I said, but it's so worth it. I said, it's so worth it when I have all my loving and loyal fans, like, actually give a damn. Oh, Fears, I loved your last vlog. I cannot wait for the next fucking vlog. Like, where are you going to go next? Like, all the positive comments and all the positive fans and all the positive feedback, that's what keeps me going because I don't want to let my loving and loyal fans down. And even though I have a small fan base, it gets bigger every day. And, man, I've got some loyal fans. Like, they care. They really care, and I appreciate that. And I really do. I can't thank you guys enough. So I was trying to tell my brother, I'm like, yeah, it sucks being a YouTuber sometimes, but I said, but then it's rewarding sometimes. And I said, usually, like 11 times out of 12, usually the good times outweigh the bad. But I said, man, whenever the bad shit happens, it's like one after the other, like punch after punch after punch, so it sucks. And, like, another thing that annoys me, and I know why he does it, I hate Adam Bachidi. I hate him with a passion. He's never been a good guy. Never. He puts on this sweet, honest, innocent act, and it's an act. I swear, if I had more subs than him, I would fly to the YouTube headquarters because they do a lot of stuff for people that are like high numbers, like Casey Neistat. He literally said it in his vlogs one time. He said, I had a couple of trolls that just would not stop bothering me, and he flew to the YouTube headquarters. I'm not shitting you. And he had that Karen or whoever the hell, the higher-ups on YouTube, physically take those people's channels down and ban them from the site for life. Oh, you bet your ass would I love to get rid of Adam Bachini. I would be like, bam, your channel's gone. Fuck you, you're gone. And I would laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. I'd get rid of Moody, fucking Quentin, Joey, all those motherfuckers and just ban them from the fucking thing. Oh, I pray for that day. Or if they die. Either one. Or both. You know, they die and then I take their channel down anyway. So, it's a lot. It's a lot. They're fucking retards. It just gets, so I was telling my brother all this. And my brother's like, you have gotten better as an editor over the years. Because my brother likes my content, but he goes, remember when you first started? I said, oh, God, I was fucking terrible when I first started. Literally, Randall will never let me. It's a joke now, but Randall was like, Fears, why the fuck in your short film when we were in film school? Why the fuck did you put 16 transitions? And I was like, you want to know why, Randall? And he was like, yeah, I want to know. And I was like, I thought transitions were super cool back then. Yes, they are cool, but in moderation. Don't put fucking 16 transitions in your film. Maybe one, maybe two. Two's pushing it. Put one or two. That's it. That's why in my vlogs, every once in a while, I'll put like a transition like in the middle, and I'll put maybe a transition at the end to like transition it into the credits. That's it. I learned that. So my brother's like, oh yeah, he goes, I used to hate your content. He goes, but, well, hate's a strong word. He said, he corrected himself. He said, well, hate's a strong word. He goes, I didn't like all the transitions and the 10-minute intros to your video. You had to watch 10 minutes to get to your fucking video. So he said, I love your content now. It's like quick. It's the edits are perfect. It's quick. It's like on point. And I was like, oh, thanks, man. I said, well, I've had years of practice. But I said, you can always get better. You can always get better. You know, I said, I always try and better myself online with my content and better as a person offline. But yeah, they never make it easy. They never make it easy for me. It's been tough. It's been tough. All right, let me get back to the comments. I wasn't trying to ignore you guys, but that's all the bad stuff. So between stress at work and stress in my life, I don't know when those videos are gonna get up, guys. I'm trying my best. So yeah. Plus, Larry, because of all the deaths in my family and traveling, all that, I've let the apartment get a little in disrepair. So it's not horrible. It's not like fucking hoarders, but before you come, I'm going to be doing some major cleaning, buddy. I haven't done like laundry like in a week and a half. I haven't cleaned my bathroom in a week and a half because I was gone. So little by little, I'm cleaning up, but it will be super clean by the time you come, buddy. I know Larry doesn't care, but I care. All right. Let me scroll up here. Back to the comments. Let's see, where did I leave off? I think the last time I read was Tinder Immortal told me to watch that Teeth, which I did. That was an interesting trailer, Tinder Immortal. It looked pretty good. All right. Oh, no, wait. The last thing I was reading is Vision said I have to eat butt. And I was like, that's not going to happen. No offense, buddy. But I'm not doing that. All right. And then Carmine said, just close your eyes. That was actually pretty funny. Just close your eyes, Fears. It'll be all right. It'll be okay. That was good. Oh, no. I'm sorry, Kathy. Kathy was the last one. She said when the next Disney trip is. Hopefully in a couple of weeks, Kathy. I've really been enjoying my my pass. So far I've used it 3 times. So, yeah. Garth says, here's a solid piece of advice for the internet, Fears. Keep personal stuff personal. Well, Garth, the reason why I talk about certain things is, like, I don't know many people down here. I don't tell you guys everything. Some things I keep personal, but I always ask for the fans' advice. I ask Randall for advice. So I'm like, hey, and so I just run it by you guys. But, yeah, it's true. I'm like, probably if I wouldn't have said anything about my grandmother, maybe Joey or Quentin wouldn't have said anything, but I had to say something because I was like, well, they're going to say, why has Fears been gone for a week and a half? Why is there no content? So I felt like I had to say something. I kind of regret that I said something because look what happened. Joey was like, oh, I'm glad Fears' grandma's dead, which is so sick. But I see your point, you know. If I wouldn't have said anything, maybe he wouldn't have said anything. But the thing is with Joey is even if I wouldn't have said anything, he probably still would have found out because these trolls are like hackers, and I cannot believe they found like the website to where my grandma had her funeral in the obituary. I didn't say anything about that. I know how they found it. My mom wanted me to post it on my Facebook because I was friends on Facebook with some of my grandma's friends that go to our church, and I know those old ladies don't know how like anything work. I'm surprised they have Facebook. Probably their grandchildren helped them make Facebook. My grandma was going to make a Facebook, but she didn't But I have a bunch of my grandma's friends on there. A bunch of my family is on my Facebook. So my mom said, hey, why don't you make a post on your Facebook, and any of our friends or family that want the information, they can come. And I did that. And a bunch of my grandma's friends and family and everybody showed up. And everyone was like, oh, hey, Fierce, thanks for posting that on your Facebook. So, yes, I did post them, but that was the only post. Well, that idiot always checks my Facebook because he's a creepy fuck, Joey. I guarantee Quentin does it too. But it's so weird. They have to know everything about me, every molecule about Fierce's life. It's really fucking weird. So that's how they found out. So I regretted posting that, because right when my mom said that, I said, well, if I post this, will they see it? And I was like, most likely. But I said, oh, well, they won't do anything because they'll probably have respect. And the weird thing is they didn't do any of this shit for my dad's. They didn't mess with my dad's obituary or nothing. So why would they mess with my grandmother's? It's just fucking weird, you know? So I thought, oh, well, they didn't do anything whenever my dad passed away. They won't do anything. Boy, was I wrong on my grandma. You know? They did a lot of shit. Well, they tried. I had to call the funeral home and say, keep these comments, turn off the comments. I don't want any of these idiots destroying my grandma's obituary. I don't want anything to go wrong with her funeral. Thank God nothing happened. But if I wouldn't have made a phone call, I guarantee you one of my family members would have saw that. And they were trying to make me look bad in front of my family. They faked me and said, they used my name and said, oh, I love you, Grandma, so much. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. And they posted all my YouTube stuff. Because they think they're clever, and they're not fucking clever. And I talked to the funeral director, and I said, yeah, I saw that. He goes, I noticed that you already said something, so I thought maybe it was a little fishy. I said, yeah, I said something very nice, short, and sweet. I said I bought my grandmother a tree in her honor. That's what they do in Missouri. I'm sure they do it in other states. But you can pick a favorite spot in Missouri or anywhere that a tree needs. It doesn't have to be Missouri. Anywhere that a tree needs to be placed, or that they want to put a tree in a park. But I said my grandma would always go walking with her friends, or she would just go walking by herself in a park. So I picked her favorite park. I'm not going to tell the park, because then they'll find out. Knowing Joey, they'll find out where they plant the tree, and they'll chop the fucker down, you know? That's how sick he is. I'm telling you. You guys think I'm making this up. He's that fucking sick. He would do something like that, you know? So I just planted that tree, bought it, and somebody else plants it. I didn't plant it, but I bought it, and somebody else planted it. I said, I'd like the tree to be put here. And they're like, yep, that's great. We can do that. I said, perfect. And then when I found it, I talked to the funeral director. I said, look, these are real. What my mom said was real. What my dad said is real. I said, they got my Aunt Donna's last name wrong. I said, it's not Donna Fears. It's something else. So I said, take that one down. I asked my Aunt Donna if she was going to write anything on the obituary. She said, I'm just too emotional. And I said, I understand. I said, it's an emotional time. And she's like, so if you and your mom and your brother and other people want to say something, that's great. But she goes, I'm just too emotional. I can't believe she's gone. I said, no. I said, Aunt Donna, I said, you don't have to explain yourself to me. I said, I get it. I understand. So, but you make a good point. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything, but I like talking to you guys. I like telling you guys what's going on in my life, but maybe lesson learned. There's a way that I can still talk about my life, but not so personal, you know? I'll be honest, I am so glad I haven't had a girlfriend in 4 years. 1, to work on myself. 2, the last time I did have a girlfriend, I don't know how many times they contacted Casey, but about halfway through our relationship, she was like, I'm getting all these weird messages. And I was like, I guarantee it's probably from my trolls. I said, do not listen to them. They're so full of shit. Just block them. I hope she did. I don't know. She said, oh, I'll look into it. I'll let you know. So hopefully she blocked them. It didn't matter anyway because our relationship ended. But I hope whenever I get somebody new, whenever I start dating someone new, whoever that may be, I hope it's not a big catastrophe, and I hope they don't call her or message her 1,000 times, you know? That is my worst fear. Or, well, one of my worst fears. So, yeah. Anyway. Vision says, welcome, Kathy. Welcome, Kathy. Kathy says hello. Yo, Timmy's here. Timmy, I'm sure you've been here for a while, but I've been chatting with everybody, so I apologize for the lateness of my response. Timmy says, John Fears, I need some advice. if I'm on a date with a hot girl and it's going well, what should I do to get her to spread them legs? Oh, my Lord. Well, Timmy, I'll be honest. Timmy's a mystery and an enigma all rolling around. We don't know if Timmy's an actual girl. We don't know if Timmy's an actual guy. So I would say, Timmy, if it's going good and the date's going good, be open, be honest. Girls do not like when you lie to them. So be open, be honest, get to know her, confidence, and usually all the other things will fall into place. You know, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not meant to be, you'll feel it. You know, she'll feel it like, this is not really working out. And you'll feel it like, oh, yeah. Like I went on a date a year ago and I knew she's a nice person, but we didn't have enough in common. She was like, yeah, you're a nice guy, John, but I'm not into movies and you're obsessed with movies. She goes, well, that's not a bad thing. She's like, I hardly watch movies. She goes, I maybe watch TV once a week. And in my mind, I was like, oh, that's not going to fly with Fears. That was just one of the things. There was many other things that me and that girl did not have in common. So I just said, you don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. So I said, thank you very much for the company. I said, it was a great date. But I said, I think I'm going to move on. And she was like, yeah, me too. So remember, Timmy, whoever you are, guy or girl, because we don't know, whoever you're dating, be open, be honest, confidence, get to know him or her, whoever you're into. And usually the other things will fall into place. So, yeah. That is true, Timmy. Timmy says, John Fears always feels better with some BK Lounge. Damn truth. But I haven't been eating a lot of BK Lounge, Timmy, because I don't want to be fucking out to here. Fears wants to be nice and slender, so I'm trying to get back. A BK Lounge here and there is fine, but for a while I was having it like almost every day, which is not fucking good because I don't want to die like when I'm 42, you know? So I've been trying to cut back. Vision says, it's Whopper Wednesday. I have heard you do this before, Visions, and that's cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. So whenever we hang out one day, Visions, if I do come either before Wednesday or after Wednesday, we must continue that tradition, my friend, and do a Whopper Wednesday. I just do it whenever Fears is hungry. Normally whenever I do my BK Lounge sessions, it's either right after church on Sunday or on a Friday or a Saturday. Which, by the way, I'm going back to church on Sunday, thank God. So this will be my second trip back because I said, man, I've missed so much church. It's insane. I haven't been to, I went last Sunday, but that was the first day I went back since, 3-4 weeks? And they were like, we thought you stopped coming, Fears. I said, well, for a while I did. I said, I had to take care of a few things, but I said, I'm not going to stop going to church, completely. I said, I just had to take care of a bunch of shit. A bunch of shit was going on. I'll be back. I'm back now, So I can't wait to see everybody again whenever I go on Sunday. So there. Do you yell stop the belt when you stop it? Usually you don't yell it. And I don't know how to pronounce your name. Shuffler. Usually, sometimes like the person looking at the front of the belt, I'll either call their name out, like my friend Joe was on the front of the belt. I was like, Joe! And so I don't shout it, but I either tap the person on their shoulder, like next to me on the belt. I'll be like, hey, get Joe's attention, or I'll get his attention. And I usually just give him like this, like, hey, man, just give me 2 minutes. And then he'll either, because there's a button at the back of the belt where I am, but I don't always work at the back. So sometimes I work at the back, sometimes I work at the front, wherever they need me. But there's 3 buttons. There's one in the middle, there's one at the front of the belt, and there's one at the back of the belt. So I was going to stop it, but since I got Joe's attention, he was like, oh yeah, 2 minutes, Fears. And I was like, awesome, buddy. I'm like, I just need to get caught up. Just give me 2 minutes, and I said I'll be good to go. So he stopped it the other night. I'm sorry, not last night. He wasn't there. The night that me and we didn't get into an argument, but I just didn't want my boss saying that I couldn't stop the belt. When I know fully well I can stop the belt. I think he was just having a bad night. I'm like, I'm not letting him put his fucking bad night on me because I'm already stressed out with all the deaths and all the crap online. I'm like, you're messing with the wrong dude tonight, buddy. I'm like, Fears will kick ass and take names, So, I mean, I would never hit my manager, but I'm just saying, that's why I was like, okay, here's the deal. I can stop the belt if I want to. Leave me the hell alone. I'm going to get back to work. That's pretty much what I said, but in the most nicest way possible. So, yeah. So, to answer your question, yes, sometimes I get someone's attention. Other times, if I'm in the back, I'll stop it. Then everybody looks at me and say, I'll be like, hey, I just need 2 minutes. But I almost never stop the belt. I only stop it when I absolutely need it. Like last night, that one new girl, she stopped it like 4 times. And she let everybody know. She goes, I'm sorry, I'm new. And I was like, it's fine. Just quickly catch up. And then let me know when you're good. And either you can push the button in the middle because she was in the middle. I said, or if you don't feel comfortable pushing the button, I'll push the button in the back. I said, it doesn't matter who pushes the button. Just as long as somebody pushes the button, it'll start up again. Or if you want to turn it off, no matter, one of those buttons will turn it off and turn it on. You know, so hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. I missed one. Vision says, a Hungry Jack Attack Day for our Southern Hemisphere friends. You know what, Visions? I'll be honest. I've heard of Hungry Jacks. And I think that's like, someone told me, I think Yakov told me a couple years ago, Hungry Jack is the equivalent to the BK Lounge. But for some reason in Toronto, well, not just Toronto, in Canada in general, they don't call it Burger King. Why wouldn't they? But it's Hungry Jack's. But I've never had the Canadian version of Burger King. Maybe one day when Fierce goes to Canada and does a vlog, because I told Sega I would love to go to Canada one day and fucking hang out with the myth, the man that is the Sega Camp Gamer. So maybe when I go, I'll get on some Hungry Jack. That would be cool. Timmy says, this is true, Visions. And then Timmy says, John Fears, I just said a prayer for John Fears and Grandma Fears and Uncle Terry. Well, Timmy, I always appreciate the prayers and the blessings. You're one of the rare people that actually, hasn't said anything bad about my family. I mean, none of the loyal fans, but you've always, ever since day one, Timmy, you've always given prayers and blessings and support, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate all my loving and loyal fans that whenever I asked for prayers for my dad and my grandma, you guys did. And for the people that aren't religious, because not everybody in the community is religious, you guys sent just positive vibes, so, and positive feelings, and, all that good stuff. And I appreciate that, Yeah. Larry said, I just went on break. Well, it's almost probably the end of your break now, Larry, but I appreciate you coming. Carmine says, praying for your mom. Hope she pulls through. I hope so, too, because I hate to hear my mom cry on the phone, and it's been emotional, Whenever I cry, I'm either alone in my house, or I don't like to show my emotions a lot, It's different for guys. We do show them, but we as guys, we have to be the strong person, so we always, I've always done it like that. The emotions bumble up, and then when I can't hide the emotions anymore, then they explode out of fears, And normally, whenever I've cried, like I said, I've only cried a couple of times at my family's funeral, but I feel so sad whenever I go to a funeral, obviously, that's a given. But my dad, I could not stop the waterworks. I mean, I was crying like crazy because my dad is very important for me. My grandma's very important to me, but I just didn't cry. I was extremely sad, though, That's why I haven't gotten the courage up yet to make my dad a tribute video. I made a tribute video for my friend Andrew. My friend Andrew was walking to work one day, and some asshole drunk driver flew off the road and hit my friend Andrew. He was the nicest guy ever. He was just minding his own business, trying to make a living, just walking to work. Everybody at his work loved him. And then all of a sudden when they found out the news, they were crushed. I was crushed. I've been his friend since 2nd or 3rd grade. And I was like, oh, damn, he was always a nice guy. But life is unfair sometimes, you guys. I'll be honest. In life, there's happy moments and there's bad moments. A lot of people, mostly everybody, tries to have as many good moments as possible. But sometimes the negative stuff outweighs the good. And then sometimes the good outweighs the negative. For me, my life's been like an emotional roller coaster. I'm on these incredible highs, and then something like my grandma or my dad happens, and then I go on this low spurt. Then something really good will happen, like whenever I started dating Casey. That was a positive, went right back up. So I just wish I could stay at the top of the roller coaster on those positive highs, but we know life is not like that. Life is ups and downs, and you just have to fucking deal with it, you know? So it's hard. It's really hard. Kathy says, I'm so sorry to hear about your losses. That is tough. Oh, it is. I had to go to Disney. I had to go to Disney when my son died. He was 3, and he was supposed to go with me this year for his birthday. I still went to celebrate him. Well, Kathy, I'm glad you still went to celebrate your son, and I'm so sorry. That's horrible to have a son that's 3 years old. And do you mind? It's none of my business, but do you mind if I ask what he passed away of? But I'm so sorry for your loss, too. I appreciate you giving condolences to my dad and my grandma, but that's horrible to have. I don't have children yet. I haven't met Mrs. Wright yet. I've met more Mrs. Nose, but hopefully one day I met Mrs. Wright, and I can have the privilege of having some children with my soulmate whenever I find her. But, man, that's horrible to lose your son at 3 years old. I mean, that's just the start of his life, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's gone. That's horrible. So I'm really sorry for your loss. I really am. That's horrible. And I'm sure that's been tough. That has been really tough, probably. Timmy says John Fears is the master of Ghostbusters. Well, this is true. I'm not trying to be conceited, but this is true. So thank you, Timmy. Larry says, Kathy, that's what your son would want you to do. Sorry for your loss. Yeah, I'm glad that you still went to celebrate his life and to celebrate his birthday. That's really nice, Kathy. But it just sucks that you lost your son, and it's such a young age. You know, that's horrible. You know, so my condolences. Do you review movies in the theaters? Sometimes. Sometimes you guys have seen it. Sometimes I'll go and I'll do a movie theater vlog, and as I'm walking out of the theater, I'll be like, oh, this was great, this was awesome. Or I'll be like, oh god, this fucking movie was crap, it was fucking garbage, don't even waste your time. So, Shuffler, sometimes I do. I haven't done one in a while. The last one I did was, I think it was, no, it wasn't Scream. It was the newest Saw movie, Saw 11. Oh, wait, no, not 11, Saw 10. God, there's so many I can't keep track. Saw 10. And me and my friends discussed this. Saw 10 was actually good. I thought it was going to be a letdown, but it wasn't a letdown. It was actually pretty good. Timmy says, Larry might want to bring some women back to the Fears Manor. We can do that. We can definitely do that. Yeah. Going to steal everything, Fears. Start with that sports almanac. Yeah, whatever, Larry. No, you're not. You're fucking hilarious. Larry, I will say this. You are going down at miniature golf. But I'm a man of my word. If by some miracle Larry wins, I will give him the $18 and I will take him out to dinner. That was our deal. That was our bet. And we're going to film it and we're going to vlog it. So then none of those idiot trolls can say, oh, Fears backed out. Nope, I'm not going to back out. If I lose, it's going to be $1 per hole. So I will pull a $20 bill out and be like, all right, Larry, here's the $18 plus a $2 tip. Here you go. I'll give him $20. And they're like, all right, wherever you want to go and eat dinner, have at it, buddy. But on the same coin, if I win, Larry's got to take me to any restaurant I want in the whole Orlando area, and he's going to give me $18. So there it is. That money's already in Fears' pocket. And there, that's what it is. It would be a good vlog to wrestle a fan in the living room. I don't know about all that. I probably will take, if we have time, Larry. I'm sure since you're a big wrestling fan, I think Larry's a bigger wrestling fan than I am. I mean, I'm a fan. I grew up with, Stone Cold and The Rock and, Hulk Hogan, 24-inch fucking pythons. But Larry, I think, is a big fan. So, Larry, if we have time and you want to go to Hulk Hogan's Beat Shop, I took Tommy NC 2010 there, and his fucking mind exploded, and he fucking loved it. So if you want to go, just let me know, buddy. So yeah. Kathy said, I was looking up Disney vlogs. I have not met you yet. I have only known about you maybe for a week. Oh, okay. Well, Kathy, yeah, every time I do a Disney vlog, I mean, I don't get thousands and thousands of views, but I get pretty good numbers. I usually get at least 100 or 2 views on my Disney ones. So, well, it's so good to meet you. And I'm glad that you enjoyed. Look out for more Disney vlogs. They're coming. Look out for other types of vlogs, too. They're not going to all be Disney vlogs. There's toy convention vlogs, and then someone told me about this hole-in-the-wall attraction that I've got to go. I guess it's been there in Florida for, I don't know, God knows how many years, but they're like, Fears, it's either called Dinosaur World or Dinosaur Landing. It's like, Fears, you've got to do a hole-in-the-wall roadside attraction vlog there. He goes, remember when you went to that hole-in-the-wall attraction, fucking the White House thing? And I said, yeah. I said, I remember doing that one years ago. And he goes, yeah. He goes, you got to do He goes, I said, which is that? I said, is it Dinosaur Land or Dinosaur World? He goes, Fears. He goes, I went there when I was 6. So he's like, I don't remember. He's like, Google it. So I Googled it. I found it. It looks pretty fucking hilarious. At some point, I'm going to do the Dinosaur World vlog. Because it's like a roadside attraction. Looks fucking hilarious. I was like, all right, well, that's going to happen at some point. So yeah. Well, good to meet you, Kathy. Welcome to the channel. I found the channel when John Fears commented on a Dillian Harper video. You know what, Timmy? I think that's a lie. I've commented on her pictures before, but I don't think I've ever commented on one of her videos. So, yeah. I can't wait for the next vlog. Where are you going to go next? Well, the next few vlogs, there's the Christmas vlogs where I went to both different parks on the Disney property. So, Christmas Eve, I went somewhere on the Disney property. Not going to tell you guys where. On Christmas, I went to Disney. Then I just recently went to Disney and did the whole dining room experience in the castle. I've walked around the castle, walked across the drawbridge, but I've never been in the castle until now. And the inside of the castle was fucking amazing. So, if you're a Disney fan, like I'm not an obsessed Disney fan, but I'm a fan. So, whether you're an obsessed Disney fan or you're a fan, do the dining experience. It's worth it. It was like $80 or $90, not too bad. Now, if it would have been like outrageous, like $250, I never would have fucking done it. But since it was around 80 or 90, I was like, that's reasonable. That's not that bad, you know. So yeah. Are you looking forward to the Joey meetup in April? You know what, Visions? I know you're joking around. Joey is such a fucking coward. He'll never show up. I've been telling those idiot trolls to show up for years. And they never have, and they never will, because they hide behind their keyboards. So, I'm not going to hold my breath, you know? If he does show up, Lord have mercy on his soul, but I doubt he'll show up, you know? So, I would be really surprised if he showed up. But, if he showed up and apologized like he should, I would accept his apology. And then I would tell him to get the fuck away from me, but I'm quite angry at Joey and Quentin and all those other idiots, so I'm just going to stop talking about them completely. But I highly doubt he'll show up, Visions. That's me going with my gut, you know? I really doubt it. Let's see. Tinder Immortal says, oh my god. Why are you saying oh my god, Tinder Immortal? Let's see. I had a few random comments on my son's obituary. Oh, Lord. Well, listen, Kathy, that's horrible. That's horrible. Dallas Cowboy says hello. What's up, Dallas Cowboy? Let's see here. No, Tinder Immortal, I wouldn't. Because if you hit a manager, or if a manager hits you, then they'll fire him. If I hit a manager or anybody in the workplace, that's considered workplace violence. I would never hit anyone at work, you know. That's not me. That's not my style. And you would lose your job right away. They take your ID badge right away and say, get the fuck off the property. You're not welcome back. I would assume that's what they've done. And I guess Tinder Immortal, to answer your question more, I guess when I was at my and I'm not just saying this because Tinder Royal asked, this really happened. I guess it was just luck of the draw. While I was gone in Missouri, I missed a week of work. So when I came back, all my coworkers and friends there were like, "Hey, Fears, it's good to see you. Like, sorry you had to leave for that circumstance." And I was like, "Yeah." So then I said, "So did I miss anything while I was gone?" Or I said, "Was it just business as usual?" And then, "Oh no," they're like, "You missed something, Fears." They're like 2 guys on the belt. They got into a fist fight. They were both fired. I said, "Really?" I said, "What happened?" They said, "Someone, I guess someone was irritating somebody." And my friend Sean was like, "I didn't hear the whole story, Fears." He goes, "But from what I heard was someone got frustrated at someone. The guy was moving too slow or something, and they got into an argument, and then someone told them to fuck you, and then the other person said fuck you back, and then ended up being a fist fight, and the managers had to break them apart." And I was like, "Wow." I said, "When did this happen?" He goes, "On one of the days that you were gone," Fears goes, "I think it was like last Thursday, because my grandma's funeral was on a Wednesday." So I said, "Okay, so last Thursday." Because last Thursday I was still in Missouri. So I was like, "Wow." I'm like, "I missed all that." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "But it wasn't like a big thing." He goes, "They fought." And he goes, "Literally, they said, you and you get off the belt." And then he goes, "Fears, when I went to use the restroom, before I walked in, I saw the security guy like escorting them out the door." And I was like, "Oh, that sucks." I said, "Well," I said, "Sean," I said, "that just goes to show you." I said, "No fight, no argument is worth you losing your job." So I was like, that's why whenever I yelled at that one girl was giving me so much shit. But I did. Obviously, 1, I would never hit her because I don't hit women because I'm a gentleman. 2, that's why I kept my distance from her, and I just yelled at her because she was giving me shit. Like, "Fuck you, Fears, you're so slow." I was like, "Fuck you." I'm like, "You give everybody shit." And that girl, she's a narcissist. Like, she can talk to everybody and give everybody shit. But the minute me and another girl came to my defense, and the other girl was like, "Fuck you." Her name's Natasha. I don't care. But the girl next to me was like, "Fears, I'm on your side. Like, you weren't doing anything. You were just working, just doing your job, just being normal." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I don't know why she's giving me shit." And she goes, "Well, Fears, she gives everybody shit." She goes, "Last week she was giving me shit." So my friend next to me, the girl, I'm not going to say her name, the girl started giving Natasha shit. So it was me and this girl screaming at Natasha, and that's when a manager came and said, "Fears, stop it. Natasha, get over there." So that's why I didn't lose my job, because me and her were just verbally yelling at each other. She ended up getting fired, though, because I guess the managers got sick and tired of her giving other people shit, because literally I don't work on Saturday and Sunday, but other people do. So I came in on Monday one time and said, "Hey, Fears, your prayers have been answered." I said, "Oh, yeah? How's that?" And he goes, "Well, Natasha went off on some girl, and they got into a verbal argument, and I guess the managers got sick and tired of it and said, 'All right, fuck you. Yeah, you're gone.' And they fired her. So I never have to worry about that Natasha bitch ever again. Because she was a super evil mega bitch from the 5th dimension. She was fucking terrible. I'm so glad she lost her job. I'm so glad she's gone. As far as I know, I haven't seen her in weeks, so I presume she lost her job. So, yeah. All right. Timmy says, Hungry Jack's is popular in Australia. Yeah, but wasn't it created, though, in Canada, though, Timmy? But that's cool that it's also in Australia. I remember Yakov telling me that. I think it started in that version of Burger King Hungry Jack's in Canada, and I guess it's migrated to Australia. That's how I remember him telling me it. I could be wrong, though. Let's see. Kathy says, "It was an accident with our pool. My mom was watching him and fell asleep while he was outside. He fell in the pool." Oh my God, Kathy, that's terrible. That's so terrible. Well, I really am sorry for your loss, Kathy. That's horrible. To lose a child like that, wow, that's crazy. Tinder Mortal says, "Review the new Aquaman." I would love to. Tinder Mortal, I don't know when it comes out, but I saw the first one. I really did enjoy the first Aquaman movie. Then I enjoyed his appearance in the Justice League. I mean, he had a small part of the Justice League, but it was still good. So I'm looking forward to Aquaman 2. So we'll see. I'm trying to catch up with all the comments before I do all my movie reviews. Let's see. John fears and Larry at Hooters. I think Larry appreciates the female form. Well, I appreciate the female form, Timmy. What makes you think that I wouldn't appreciate the female form? I appreciate the female form just as much as Larry, just as much as anyone else. So yeah. Anyway, no, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun hangout. It's gonna be fun to hang out not only with a friend but with a fan. I'm not gonna show Larry around. You know, it sucks. It sucks that I can't take more time off of work. You know, so because Larry said, well, I'm going to come on a weekend. I said, that's great. I said, if you come on the weekend, then I won't have any work. But I wish I could have took off like, 2 or 3 days, but Larry and me, we're going to make the most of it and hang out. We're going to totally vlog it up. Yeah. It's in theaters. I saw it on Christmas. Oh, so it already is in theaters, Tinder Immortal. Okay. Well, I'll look into it because I haven't been to a theater in quite a while because Tinder Immortal, I mean, now you know, but I haven't seen you in the comments section in a while. I know people get busy, but the reason why I haven't been to the theater is because of all the deaths in my family and all the craziness and all the stress and all the bullshit that I've had to go through the last couple of weeks. Not using it as an excuse. It's the truth. It's the truth. So, yeah. But anyway, good to see everybody. All right, I think I've caught up with everybody. Good to catch up with everybody. And yep. Anyway, all right. That took a while. Sorry, you guys know me in the comments. I try not to get too far behind. Yeah. All right, what should we start with? Well, let's start with the most disliked one. Because I just want to get this. I'm not saying I hate all of it, but number 4 is pretty terrible. I think they should have just stuck with Superman 1. Superman 1 is great. Superman 2 is great. The third one, it's all right. It's more funny because it's got Richard Pryor in it, and he's really funny. Really funny. So there's that. And let's see. And then I liked Man of Steel. I liked Smallville's good. Let's see what else. Superman vs. Batman, that's awesome. But 4 is just, it's kind of terrible. The best scene in it is when the villain superhero that Lex Luthor makes fights with Superman. That's the best scene because there's a lot of action. They're punching each other. They're going through walls and stuff. But the rest of it is just so boring. So I don't recommend this one. If I have to rate it, it's probably a 4 out of 10. And that's me being generous. So yeah. And really it's basically, there's no need for part 4 because they touch upon things that we already know about Superman and Clark Kent. He works at the Daily Planet. He's in love with Lois Lane. He's good friends with Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen helps Superman, gets out of jams, and it's pretty much redundant. So, but basically, this tycoon guy takes over the Daily Planet, buys the Daily Planet, and he's trying to turn it into a trashy type of newspaper that makes up fake headlines for people to buy more papers. And then on the same coin, Lex Luthor escapes, and he creates this business of selling, weapons for world domination. And then on the same coin, Superman tries to rid the world of all weapons of mass destruction. And for a while, he does a good job, but then Lex Luthor does his dirty work as always. So it's just not a good movie. So I don't recommend it. 4 out of 10. That's me being generous. But at least I have the collection now. So horrible. Crap. Garbage. Don't watch it. All right. Let's get on to the goodies. All right. Visions, I'm going to save the best for last, my friend. All right, next one. I had heard of this movie, but I had never seen it. I'd heard of it. So I watched the trailer a couple of months back, and I was like, that looks hilarious. Then it was confirmed. It was confirmed in the chat. I think Carmine or Larry or somebody was like, Fears, it's funny. You have to watch it. Go for it. Go for it. So I watched it. Not only is it funny, it's funny, spooky, it's got some horror aspects to it. It touches upon life after death. It's got all that mix. It was directed by Robert Zemeckis, the guy that made Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. He's a great director. He did Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And he also directed a couple of episodes of Tales from the Crypt. He directed one of my favorite episodes, the Christmas episode, where the woman hates her husband. She kills the husband, tries to throw him down a well, and on the same coin, she turns on the radio, and there's this escaped mental patient that shows up, and he's dressed as Santa Claus. So she's like, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll make it look like that the escaped mental patient, instead of throwing my husband down the well, I'll just make it look like that the escaped mental patient killed my husband. So she knocks him out, takes the escaped mental patient's axe, puts on some gloves so her fingerprints won't get on the axe, and puts the axe in her husband's head. Well, that plan works terribly because the deranged psychopath that's in the Santa Claus suit, he wakes up, ends up killing her, and there you are. So on the same coin, I'd say Death Becomes Her. It's kind of like a bunch of Tales from the Crypt episodes jumbled together. It's funny. It's risque. It's cheeky. It's got horror elements to it. It's definitely funny. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It wasn't a perfect movie, but it was almost a perfect movie. It was pretty damn funny. Pretty damn funny. And it's got great actors and actresses. Goldie Hawn, she's a classic actress. Meryl Streep, oh my God, she's been in everything. She's been in everything. And Bruce Willis, he's John motherfucking McClane. Need I say more? So basically, it's about this guy. He's stuck between two women that he loves. And she is an obsessed, failed actress / she does both movies and both plays. She's jealous of her. She was going to get married to him, and because they were together, she has to have him. So she's always trying to one-up her. And she ends up marrying him. She's pissed that, she destroyed her life. So she goes like on a drinking, eating binge. She weighs like 500 pounds. Then she's like in therapy. And they said the only way for you to get on with your life is you got to forget that girl and just live life up to the fullest. And she's like, yeah, you're right. So she just says that to get out of the mental institution. So what does she do? She starts working out. She becomes beautiful, but she's got a little help. She finds out about this potion. So she does work out and stuff, but it helps her, enhances her body. And if you drink this potion at a certain age, you'll never age. You'll live forever. Your body won't change. But the woman that sells her says you must maintain your health. You must maintain your body. Don't let anything happen to your body, or drier consequences will happen, as you find out in the film. Well, she finds out about this. She finds out about this, and she takes the potion. But literally like a day after she drinks the potion, he throws her down some stairs, and she breaks her neck, and she dislocates her arm, and I think she breaks like 2 or 3 ribs. She ends up dying. Well, it says that she's dead, but then she just keeps walking around, and so all the doctors are like, I don't know how the fuck this is possible. She knows how it's possible. So he's a mortician. He's a famous mortician. So he just takes her body and says, well, I don't know how you're still alive, because I don't think she tells him about the potion until later on in the film. So he tries to fix her the best way he can. So he takes, like, flesh tone paint and, like, paints up. He, like, sticks the bones back in. It's a kooky movie, but it ends up horrible for these two. Because at the end, well, I don't know if I should tell the end of the film. Let's just put it this way. It ends up terrible for everybody in a comedic way at the end. But he ends up the least terrible. At least he dies in a peaceful way. These two, oh man, by the end of the film, they've got some problems. They got some troubles coming their way. So it is funny. It's hilarious. Pretty damn funny. Yeah. Anyway. Definitely 9 out of 10. Let's see. It's normal. Sometimes it takes him a few minutes. I'll listen. You're not lying, buddy. You're not lying, Visions. Well, there's a difference, Visions. Sometimes I do get on a tangent. Other times, if I'm really into the film, like how I was into this one, I'll explain a little bit more in detail. But you are right. Sometimes I do get on a tangent. So I apologize for the tangents here and there. But I appreciate that, Visions, because I know you got a good sense of humor. You're used to it, Visions. Everybody else is. I don't really try to get on a tangent. I'm just saying, like, if I'm really into something, that's when I'll talk about it more. If it's not, then I'll just say what I need to say and then move on to the next topic. But I definitely recommend this. 9 out of 10. Really good. 4 out of 10. Don't waste your time. All right. By the way, Visions, send me an email, because whenever you're ready, I don't know how big your orders are. I still want my shirt, buddy, but I know you had a massive order to do. So whenever you're done with your massive order, send me an email with a link, and I'll pay for my shirt, because I cannot wait for my Man I Love Fears MILF shirt, buddy. So keep in touch. Let me know when you have time to make that. I know you're a busy guy and you got tons of orders. So in between your orders, or just get all that fucking orders done and then just let me know. You are right, Visions. I am a good conversationist. So that's one of my good traits. I know how to keep a conversation going. All right. I saved the best for last. Oh, yeah. All right. Mel Gibson. Need I say any more? Brilliant filmmaker. Brilliant actor. I agree. A riveting classic. Classic is an understatement. Holy shit, man, was I missing out all these years. I don't know how this one passed me by. Better late than never. I watched it when I was 40, so there we are. Better late than never. It's not like, thank God I didn't watch it like when I was 80 or whatever, you know? So, I will say one thing about this movie. Their future, who doesn't want to see a glimpse into the future? Everybody does. This takes place in the it says in the ravaged near future. In the near future. Well, all I'm gonna say about this is I wouldn't want to be in Mad Max's future. It's terrible. Buildings are rotting away. Trash everywhere. Barely any food. Barely any food. People are starving. And as the movie's gone, like 2, 3, and I haven't seen 4 yet, it just gets worse and worse. At least in the first one, there's somewhat of a society left. They do have police officers in the first one. In number 2, there is no society, no structure, no order, no rules in the second one. It's like every man, woman, child for themselves, you know? And in the first one, it's starting to become like that. So, the movie's about the main character, Max. He's a police officer. And I don't want to ruin it for anyone that doesn't seen it, but pretty much what turns him into a person that wants revenge, someone kills his family. Well, anyone would be pissed off at that. and anyone would be pissed off at that. And so he just goes on a gasoline fuel rage because there's like tons and tons and tons of explosions and high car chases and the whole 9 yards. So he goes out on revenge, pretty much ends up killing the entire gang. And then at the end of the film, I'm not going to tell you how he takes down the main villain, but the main villain dies in a horrific way. But justice is served. And John was saying that it was so boring. So Visions, I know that Mad Max is one of your favorite movies. I told John, I said he's more than happy. Like, everyone is entitled to their opinion. But I looked at John and said, John, respectfully, I'm going to have to decline what he said. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but he said it was boring, there was no action. Dude, but literally, there was tons of action, tons of explosions. Whew, pretty good. Wait, you're not a fan? Visions, I thought you were a fan of this. You said not much of a fan, but fears for sure. Are you talking about this or are you talking about another film, Visions? I'm just curious. Anyway. I think Visions is talking to somebody else. Well, I apologize. I didn't know that you were talking to somebody else. Oh, my mistake, Visions. You were talking to somebody else. But I can't see the other person's comments. So, yeah. So you were probably talking about something else. Mad Max is great, yeah. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I was like, I thought Visions liked this. So, without giving too much away, do I recommend this film? Absolutely. 100%. I've seen the first one. The first one was great. The second one was great. Check it out. Well, I got rid of that person, Visions, because I know that person, and that person didn't have any content on their channel, so I knew that was a troll. So, you're responding to a troll, Visions, because they probably made up a fake channel. So, not for you to waste your time, Visions. You were probably talking to a fake channel, a fake troll. Or you were talking to a troll. Because I've seen that person's channel and it has tons of content on it. And the cat's already out of the bag. I don't know how they found out. But that girl was the girl that I met. That was the girl that I talked to at Disney. But I know that's a fake, though, Visions, because one, she hasn't responded yet. And I've actually checked out her YouTube channel and it's filled to the brim with tons of stuff. So, yeah. I know that's a fake. Anyway. So, Australians definitely know how to make a good movie. I don't know if Australians made the third and the fourth one, but I know they made Mad Max 1 and 2 in Australia. So, but I'm telling you, I cannot wait. I've already reviewed number 2, and I cannot wait to review 3 and 4 because I loved this. So, definitely worth watching. Definitely, I'm going to give Mad Max a 10 out of 10. It was, I gave The Road Warrior a 10 out of 10. So, yeah. Yeah, she's been trying to talk to you in the chat. Trying to respond, I think. Yeah, but I know that's a fake, though, Visions. I mean, because her real channel would have content on it. And I looked before I blocked that person. There was no content on it. So I know it's a fake channel. Anyway. So, with that being said, definitely 10 out of 10. Give it a look. Let me once you guys watch it, let me know what you guys think. I loved it. So, John said he didn't like it. So, John, you're definitely entitled to your opinion, but I loved it. It was action-packed, high-speed chases, And those cars and those motorcycles are going well over 100 miles an hour. Well over 100 miles an hour. They used all these back roads and highways in Australia. Then they found this town that was kind of like breaking down. Either they made the town look like that, or the town was already kind of like decaying itself, and they used that as the background as the post-apocalyptic, world. So they shot on a beach. They shot near the ocean. So there's a lot of locations in Australia that they shot, and it's really good. So the director, who was the director? The director was, oh shit, where is it? George Miller. So I don't know who George Miller is, but George Miller, my hat's off to you, buddy. George Miller, my hat is off to you. That movie was great. I don't know if he directed number 2, but man, and the angles in it. There's so many different angles. Like he would mount cameras to like the motorcycles, so you'd see the front view as they're driving. And if a car came right up beside the motorcycle, and I watched the bonus features, and they said, I don't know if it was the first time they did this in film, but they said it was the first time, at least in an Australian film, that they had that many cars and motorcycles in one film. They said no one had ever done that. They said the way we mounted the cameras to certain parts of the car, no one had ever done that on film. And in one of the scenes, they strapped a rocket to one of the villains' cars, and I guess they put a dummy in the car, because obviously if a person was in this car, they would die in seconds. But as Mad Max hits the back of his car, they lit the rocket, and the rocket came shooting fire out of the back of the car, and when Mad Max hit the car, it spun around in a circle, and then the car flew into all these other cars, and a massive explosion happened. And they said no one had ever seen anything like that on film, and I believe that was the first time somebody strapped a rocket to a car. That's what they were saying in the behind the scenes and in the commentary, because I watched the commentary a little bit today in preparation for this stream. So I don't know if I got all of the details right, but I remember them saying that was the first time that anyone had strapped a rocket to the back of a car. And I was like, that's fucking awesome. So yeah. No, I've never seen that one, Tinder Immortal, but Mel Gibson is a fantastic actor, and you know what? It's weird. He knows how to put on a good American accent. I thought he was from America. Before I watched Mad Max and The Road Warrior, I had no idea he was from Australia. No idea. Because his Australian accent is not as high-pitched like, the guy that plays the Crocodile Dundee, Paul Hogan. In those movies, Paul Hogan, he's got a thick, Australian accent. When you watch like Mad Max, his accent is very subtle. So I never knew that he was from Australia, and I was like, all right. I was like, oh wow, like you learn something every day. Excuse me. Well, it's 8 o'clock. I think I'm going to end it there because I haven't had any dinner yet, and I got work tonight, so I need to get a little more washing done, a little editing, and I'm going to mosey on off to work. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. 10 out of 10. Definitely check it out. But I appreciate all you loving and loyal fans, and I appreciate all you guys understanding what Fears has been going through. I've been through a lot, so I appreciate the loyal fans like Tinder Immortal, Timmy, Visions, Larry, everybody else, in the chat, So J-Man was here, and shout out to all the new people like Kathy and Dallas Cowboy and all the and Shuffler. I've never seen him, so shout out to all my loving and loyal fans, and I appreciate you guys understanding what Fears Man's been going through. So before I go, let me pick a film to watch tonight so I can review it tomorrow. So let's go on over to the wall, and we'll pick something out. All right. Let's see here. All right, let's see. Well, there's quite a lot to choose from. Let's see here. You know what? I'm going to do this one. I've already seen this one, but I've never watched the Steelbook version. So, I picked an oldie but a goodie. I picked an oldie but a goodie. Bam! Steelbook of Part 3. So, I've been trying to collect as many Steelbooks of my favorite horror movies possible. So, now I've got Friday the 13th Part 1 on Steelbook, Part 4 on Steelbook, now I got Part 3. And I bought this when I was in Missouri. So, I'm going to give this another watch, and I'll review this tomorrow. Always a good one. And I've never seen the Steelbook, and I've never seen any of these bonus features, so there's a shitload of bonus features. So I will watch all this tonight. And this one is one of my favorites because this is when Jason finally gets his mask. Exactly, Visions. Visions says, nice! Right? It's one of my favorites. It's not the best one in the series, but it's one of my favorites for these 3 reasons. 1, there's hot-ass women in it. Super hot women in Part 3. 2, he finally gets the mask. And that fat Shelly guy always makes me fucking lose my mind, you know? That scene like where he runs over the fucking biker's bike, and then the biker makes me fucking lose it. He, like that little biker guy, like he gets his arm chopped off at the end of the film, but he's like, Jason, you motherfucker! And he's like, and he's got the katana blade or whatever, and he's trying to fight with Jason, and I'm like, yeah, buddy, I'm like, you're so fucking dead. He's trying to fight Jason with one fucking arm because that Jason cut off his other arm, but he's like, I won't go down without a fight. He's like, you motherfucker. And I was like, man, this guy's really trying to fight with Jason. I'm like, dude, you are so dead, it's beyond belief, you know? So number 3, there's a lot of good scenes in it. Cannot wait to watch it for the 1 billionth time, but I've never reviewed the Steelbook. So now all I need to do in the Steelbook era is get Friday the 13th Part 2, Part 5, Part 6, Part 7, Part 8, 9, 10, and then get the remake. Because the remake of Friday the 13th was also pretty good. And then I need to get Freddy vs. Jason on the Steelbook. And then we'll be good to go. But yes, you are correct, Visions. Nice! So, an oldie, but a goodie. I'm going to watch this tonight. Watch all the bonus features. And we'll be reviewing this tomorrow. So anyway, I'm going to take off. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to The Fears Man on the main channel, FearsMan26. Fears Vlogs is on the second channel. Check that out. Follow me on TikTok, FearsMan26. Follow me on Instagram, FearsMan26. It's all at FearsMan26. Follow my buddy Larry Tate at Larry Tate. He's making content. Oh, yes. That's right. And follow the myth, the man, the legend that is the Sega Camp Gamer on the Twitch, the Twittage, at the Sega Camp Gamer 22. And I talked to Randall last night. We are so close. He's got 4 more scenes to do, and then Fears Man Episode 5, Fears Man versus Black Aldrin, will be coming out on the main channel. So, exciting times. Also, sad times. But I appreciate all my loving and loyal fans know what I'm going through. And just bear with me. Bear with me. I appreciate your guys' patience, because I've been going through a lot. Let's see. Anyway. Shout out to the Mayor of Magic. That's right. Randall's awesome. Randall's such a great friend. Such a good guy. So much support. I'm lucky to have the loyal friends in my life and my family. I'm a blessed human being. I really am. Randall and me, we've been through thick and thin together. Good times, bad times, hilarious times. Same thing with my buddy Eric. So yeah, I am extremely grateful for my friends and my family. But I appreciate your guys' patience, because I've been going through some shit, and I just don't know how to handle it, so I'm trying to handle it the best way I can. All right. Well, I will see you guys tomorrow, and this is Fears, signing off. Peace, deuces, God bless everybody, and I'll see you guys later.